Hello everybody, today we are building a medieval styled lighthouse. This lighthouse is completely functional, it's got a lot of good looks to it, and not only that, the redstone behind it is extremely simple. So we are about to start building this. Feel free to build along, or hopefully grab some pointers along the way. Also, if you're looking to see a survival series with builds like this in it, check out the link in the description below to my survival series. We've got this and many more builds in that world. So let's get started. Alright, so getting started, we're going to start with the base of what we're doing, build up a bit of shape, and then slowly add a bit more shape and a bit more detail to the build. That's my strategy for doing most builds, and I think it works very, very well. So let's get started with the foundation of this build. First of all, we are going to place a single block in the middle and go 3 blocks out in each direction from here, and that's just seeing how wide we're going to go. Then we're going to make a little bit of a circle slash square thing by going out and leaving these corners of the square out with no blocks. After this, we're going to start going to the height that we're going to be building. And this is all just a rough estimate. It's sort of to get the shape of what we are going to be doing. So going up 14 blocks above the foundation, or 15 blocks from the bottom, we're going to put a spruce pillar going all the way up there. After this, we are going to go and make each of these little pillars over here 5 blocks tall. And this is going to be the future support of these walls. Then we're going to go and fill in these little walls in the middle here, and then we're going to go up another 8 blocks on top of those ones there. And what we are trying to do here is we're trying to create a little bit of an hourglass shape in this build, which it might not necessarily have at first, and it's going to not be very, very obvious, but that subtle little curve in it makes it look really, really good. Then after this, we're going to go up and use our dark oak stairs to go backwards out here again, 1 more block, and go up another 5 more blocks on top of that. Then we're going to add in some stone brick blocks and then go up another 5 blocks on top of that. Now what we are going to do is head back down here and put in some of the very, very early stage walls here. We're going to put in a door on the front here. So we're going to go up a few blocks, make a little doorway for this area. And we're also going to be putting in the door backwards. So in fact, if we look into the block like this, if we stand in the block, we can actually place the door down backwards and then put an upside down stair block above the door. And that just looks really, really good when it's done. It makes the door look like it's pushed into the wall and gives a really, really good effect instead of keeping the door flush with the wall. After these, we're going to pull these up to the height of these pillars on the side, and then we can go ahead and do that for all these walls around it. Now, the next stage is going to be the first roof. This has actually got 2 roofs, this build, and one is this bottom roof over here. So go to the block 1 level above the block of where the doorway stair is. So that stair we just added in, if you go to that area over there in this corner, that's where we're going to be starting here. So put in a single spruce block over here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pull it out 1 block from each direction there and then add some slabs below it. So that will give us a nice shape when we're done. Then put in an upside down stair on the end of this and then go up another block layer above that. So just fill in the blocks over there. And I'm going to go through this roof, by the way, guys. So it's going to be step by step and you guys can repeat it as well. This is a little bit more tricky. The roofs are always a little bit more tricky. After this, we can go ahead and start the somewhat repeating pattern, and we'll come back to this at the end of the video again as well. So if we go out 1 block into the middle here as an upside down stair like this, and then behind it place in a single block like this one over here, that's going to work, as I say, the same for the whole way up again. So there we go up and jump up 1 block as well, and this level is going to be a single block level. Then we go up 1 more level, and the front block is going to be a full block like this, and the block behind it is going to be a normal stair block. And you can see the shape that's coming along. Then we're going to do it again with the stair, a full block behind it, 2 full blocks, and then a full block and a stair, and repeat it again. And that's pretty much the same thing over and over again. Once you've repeated all of those, the final thing to do for this roof is to come around to the front here and place in an upside down stair on the left-hand side of the inside part of this, 1 on the right-hand side, and then go to the top block in the middle, place in a full spruce block, and then come down 1 block with a spruce slab. And that is the bottom roof completely done. Now we're going to start with a bit of the interior. What we're going to do is we're going to start off adding these columns just with this spruce logs again in these corners here. And that's going to make the room feel a little bit more circular than what it is already. And one little trick is to always try and get your rooms to be a bit more interesting than just a plain square. If you can put something in the corner, that's going to work a really, really good job. So we're going to go up in all 4 corners there, and we're going to start with the staircase. And this staircase I'm going to try and make as simple as possible, because I know I used to battle a lot with the different spiral staircases and stuff like that. A very, very simple way to do this one is to do an L shape like this, so with 3 blocks in this direction over here, go up a half slab and put in 2 half slabs on that level. Then you're just going to keep repeating this the whole way around this. So you do the L shape, some more of those 2 half slab things, and go until you get to the height we need. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add in whatever color block you choose. It can be concrete, it can be any terracotta block, it can be whatever your heart desires. Bone block, you name it, this block can go in here. And that's just going to make this tower look a little bit more interesting than a plain, dull, brown tower, brown and gray tower, really. So take your pick, and it really shouldn't matter too much because we're going to hide this block a little bit and it's just going to be in the background. It's not going to be an obvious, very, very in-your-face sort of thing. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to put in some fences in front of it. And the fences are doing exactly what I said is going to happen right here. We're just going to mask these blocks behind it, and it's not going to make the blocks too obvious. Now we're going to do the windows over here, and I'll mess this up a little bit in this first bit here, but what we're going to do is we're going to go 1 block above the roof and go and put in the walls here and break out a window for it as well. So this window is 2 blocks tall, and it's going to just be a stair facing upwards over here and a stair facing downwards just above it. Then we're going to go ahead and put a dark oak trim around here. So if we take the dark oak slabs, and we're actually going to do it on the bottom level of the block over here. So because it's a slab, put it on the bottom level of that block and just go around in between these over here. Then this is kind of going from the window slowly towards getting our actual lighthouse going. So getting the actual lights in, we're going to go out 1 block from where we were there with some more slabs, but this time we're using spruce slabs, and we're going to put 5 spruce slabs along here, and then put in our 3 lamps on the side over here. So 3 in the middle, and then 2 cobblestone walls on either side of that, and that should be sort of hiding what we are going to be doing at the back here. Then we go around to the corner, and we're going to put in 2 more slabs over here on this side here, and 1 block below it, so actually on top of the fence over there, we're going to put in another dark oak slab there. And then put on the 2 lamps again, put on some slabs over here, just like what I'm doing here with the 3 slabs in the corner, and it'll eventually match up to the wall that we're about to put in. And then go back to the other lamps and put in 2 slabs on either side on top of those walls, and then also some stairs in the middle there. Once we've done that, we're going to fill in the area behind these lamps with a bit of stone brick. And it doesn't have to be stone brick, I'm just using stone brick because it's going to fit with the build if anything sticks out. The reason for this is these blocks are actually going to be powered, so we need to have these blocks here. Then what we're going to do once we've done that there is we're going to go and slab the floor like what we're doing here. And this is actually going to be where our working redstone goes. So now let's get into the redstone. And as I've said before, this is very, very simple redstone. I wanted to keep it as simple and easy to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by putting in a small hopper system over here. We'll place a block and face each of these hoppers into one another. And that's just going to keep doing a loop. So if we put an item in here, it should just keep going around in a loop. And that's the principle for what we're about to do here. Then we can go ahead and place a block on each of these right corners from here. If we look from the inside, it's the right corner. And each of these blocks over here will be used as well for taking a comparator signal out. So speaking of that, let's get to the comparators. We put 1 reading a signal through this block. And for those of you guys who might not be too redstone savvy, you can actually read a redstone signal from those hoppers through that block there, which is a little known thing for those guys who might not be into redstone. So that's what's happening over there. Then the other one we are putting back right next to the hopper, and that's just to separate the 2 lines that we're about to do with the redstone. Then go ahead and add in some of this redstone dust where I've put this here, and make sure that there's a block behind the lamp in the corners as well for the redstone dust to run into. What we have to do is add in some blocks on top of here, make sure they're full blocks, and that's going to separate the 2 redstone lines because they're actually touching one another right now, and that won't work very well for the lights on the outside if that does happen. After that, go ahead and repeat it for all 4 of these sides, and then we'll go ahead and start this thing up. So to start it up, you'll have to have an item that is not stackable. So for instance, a shovel, a pickaxe, a sword. I'm using a simple wooden sword here, and any of those sorts of things will do the trick. So if we drop a wooden sword into this, that'll give us a longer signal than if we put in a single item. So if, say for instance, we put in a stick or a single block, that will give us a weaker signal and it won't actually power all of the lights. So it has to be a non-stackable item. That's an important part of this. So drop that in there and take a step back. And if you've got any lights out, just have a look, make sure the redstone's connecting. But that should be ideal and working right now. And that's the hardest part of this build, the redstone. If you guys were worried about the redstone, very, very easy. We're all done with that now. So go ahead and just fill in the blocks over here like what I'm doing. Get the next level already. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually put in the elevator to get up to the next part over here. And the reason for this elevator and not a staircase or a ladder, for instance, is because we actually can't fit that in. It's a very narrow spot, and sadly, that's just the nature of this build. what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in a block above here where that trapdoor is. So if we have the trapdoor there, that's actually going to stop what we're about to do now. So if we put this block in here, put a rail on it, and put the minecart on top of the rail, then we can break this block, and the minecart falls down onto that trapdoor, and that allows us to actually get in, click on the minecart, and press shift to get out on this level, and still jump back down to the level below. Getting started on the final roof. Now this roof is very, very similar to the roof we've just done at the bottom there, but there are a few differences being in the center of this roof, which are really not too big, and in fact, what I'd recommend is just having a look at where I put the blocks, and you'll see that it's very, very simple to what we've done in the last one. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting off with a little L piece in here. You can see the L piece from the top. We're going ahead and putting that one in over there, and that is 2 blocks down from where the top of this is. The front is the same as before. We're going to go ahead with the stair underneath the full 2 blocks. I'd recommend, if you guys don't remember it, just going back and checking that out, because it's exactly what we did in the roof below. Then we'll go ahead and go up to the middle on each side of these and add in the blocks in the center here. Most of the time we are putting in a single spruce block over here and just going up to the top, where we've got some stairs and a slab to finish it off. Once you've repeated this across the roof, we're going to add in the small bits below the roof here, where we put a stair 1 block in from the side over here, and then we also put a block and a stair below there. Now we're going on to the final wall / window to put into the top of this lighthouse. This is going to be where you can look out of the lighthouse onto whatever you want to look out onto. First of all, we are going to put in a dark oak slab on the bottom, which is actually on top of the redstone dust over here. Then put some cobblestone stairs in each of these 3 positions here, and get started on a bit of a wall on each side here. And this is the window that we are going to have over here. We'll just add in some fences on each side and do the same thing as what we did before with the window, with some cobblestone stairs over here. And that is pretty much all you need to do. After you've added those in, go around to the inside here and add some more spruce logs to these corners here. These are the final spruce logs that we'll be placing, and they're doing exactly what I mentioned before, just making this room feel a bit more round and not as boxy as it feels already. Once we've got those up, we're going to go ahead and do the roof. And this is a very simple roof ceiling thing that we're doing in here. We're going to put some stairs on each of these pillars that we've just created. And from then on, we're going to go up 1/2 a block in the area that we can see. So if we look down from the bottom, you can see in each of these spots here, we're going to put a half slab in each of these, and then go up again and put a half slab in each of those, and again and again. What I'd recommend doing, if you're building this in survival, to make the area above here unspawnable by either putting in a light source, or perhaps even putting in some slabs, which is what I've just done over here when I jump into the roof. Now, the very, very final thing to do for this build to be completely done, besides one little minor change that we're going to do at the end of this, is to put in a light. And this light is going to be a standard glowstone lamp. And it's a very, very easy thing to do. We're going to put in a wall over here, a cobblestone wall in the middle, then put in a spruce fence and the glowstone block. And then to finish off the glowstone block, we'll just put in some trapdoors, and that should be done and ready to go now. So heading outside here, there's one last thing that I want to show you guys, and I've actually got a video on my channel for it if you guys want to check it out, and that is adding in a bit of texturing to stone brick. Stone brick can be a very boring block. It's overused a lot, and it's a repeating pattern. So what I recommend doing is putting in a bit of stone, a bit of cobblestone, a little bit of cracked stone brick, and just breaking it up with that and a bit of andesite. It looks really, really good when you're done with it, and it takes you next to no time. It really makes the build feel polished off. Now, I hope that you have enjoyed or at least gained something from this video. And if you're new to the channel and would like to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button just below this video. Also, we have built these things and many more in a survival world, so if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description of the video right now. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.